We're here with Nick Maton. He was the BlueClaws shortstop in 2018 and got up to a double-A rating last year. Nick is kind enough to give us a few minutes from Illinois. Nick, how are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
So you were in Clearwater big league camp when everything got shut down. But before that, it was your first big league camp. What was that experience like for you?
It was cool being around all those big guys and just watching the way they do their things and trying to pick up on everything that they do and just learn from them and find any way to make myself better, you know.
Who are some of the veterans that the Phillies had in camp there that were kind of helping out the younger guys?
I kind of gravitated towards Neil Walker and Josh Harrison. Those are two really good dudes, and they just go about it the right way. And they actually were really friendly to everybody, and we're one of the people you could talk to.
So since everything got shut down, you've been back home. What are you trying to do to stay in baseball shape and stay ready? Because, you know, that call could come. It's going to come at some point, and you got to be ready.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually fortunate. My dad has a facility, so we can go hit there and throw there and do all that. And then we got a weight room in our basement. So I'm pretty much staying as good as I can, and I'm in a pretty good situation, so that's good for me. So. And
your brother too? He's still.
Well, the older one's out in Arizona, so he's staying. But my younger one's here right now, and he pitches at Coastal. So I mean, we both work out together, and sooner or later I'm going to get some live at bats out of him. So just to stay in shape.
These won't be the first live at bats you've had off him, I assume, right?
No.
So we'll get to 2018 with the BlueClaws. 2019, you went from Clearwater, got up to Reading, and then got the camp invite there for 2020. How did your second full season go?
It was good. You kind of knew what to expect. It was easier the second time around, but Florida's really hot, and that took a little tear on the body. But no, it was good. And then I got the call up, and it's good, a little change in weather.
I was at the game in Trenton.
Oh, you were?
The playoff game. That was not Florida weather. That was cold and rainy.
That playoff game, yeah, it was like snowing. Yeah, that was terrible. But no, my first game was in Altoona, and it was like a complete culture shock because we go from like 100 degrees every single game to it was like, I don't know, 70 degrees with all kinds of fans there, and it was like, oh, this is much better.
Yeah. The playoffs last year, obviously, you got a chance to play in them again. One of these years you'll win one of them. I know you've had a tough eliminations these 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, well, in Lakewood it was to Lexington, and Lexington had, I don't know, that team was on that staff.
Yeah, they were good.
It was crazy. And then this year we face Trenton, who has I can't remember the first day, but he's a big league starter.
Severino.
No, that was the second one. We had another guy. It was a lefty. Anyway, he was a lefty.
Jordan Montgomery?
Yes.
Yeah.
He pitched the first game. And then the next game is Severino with I forget his name too, the reliever. Betances, yeah. And then they had some second baseman playing on the big league roster. It was like, what? What do we do? We actually playing the Yankees right now?
Yeah. Well, Derek Hall took Severino deep in Trenton.
Yeah, that was their only run on a changeup.
All right, so let's go back to Lakewood. The highlight, I don't know, highlight, that's the wrong word, but I guess the craziest game for you was that game in Lexington in game one of the championship series. 3 straight homers in the ninth. You had the third one to tie it. Ever gone through anything like that?
No, that Lakewood team, we went through quite a bit. Some cool experiences on that team for sure. I mean, between that and then Spencer's no-hitter, I mean, those were 2 pretty surreal moments.
Yeah, Spencer's no-hitter was 3 days before. We'll come back to that one in a second. But let's go through that ninth inning there in Lexington in game one. You're down 5-0. You know, what's your approach there at that point for the team? You know, you're up 5th in the inning, and when you came up, it was 5-4. But I think Muzziotti had started the inning with a base hit. Take us through the dugout going into that ninth inning. You're down 5-0, and they brought in a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, I think we had 1 hit that whole game going into the ninth inning or something like that. And then, I mean, our hopes weren't too high on that. We were like, okay, let's get the next one. And then was it Muziati start off? But I remember Josh like pinch hit. Steven like pinch hit.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
That's what it was. And then he got a hit, and we're like, okay. And then someone else got a hit. I don't remember who it was. And then the Duran hit a 3-run bomb. And they were like, oh, okay. I mean, we're still 2 runs down, but at least we got a shot now. And then Ortiz hits one off the questionable foul ball one. And they're like, oh my gosh. And then I come up and I'm like, I didn't even think I was going to get up this inning. And then it's 3-2. I'm like, well, he's going to throw me a fastball here. So let's see what I can do with it. And I got to it and they tied it up. I was like, that was the craziest moment ever.
You knew yours was gone, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a tiny park.
Yeah.
A little park.
Jalen's, who was right before you, was right down the line, and you didn't know if it was going to stay fair or foul, and you didn't know if it was going to be high enough, and it was barely high enough, and it was barely fair.
Yeah. And then Duran's was a bomb.
What was Marty's facial expression when you're rounding second and you pick him up there?
Oh, nothing. Same thing as always. Full face Marty.
What was it like playing for him? You played for him for a year and a half.
Oh, he's a really good dude. I mean, he wants what's best for you, and he'll push you to get there. I mean, he's a real good manager.
And now you'll work with him a little more, right? Because he'll be the
infield coordinator now. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that.
Spencer's no-hitter was Friday before the Monday game in Lexington. So you're at short. Is it one of those things? When did you realize that he had a no-hitter going?
I don't even remember, to be honest. I mean, it must have been a little later in the game, but no one was really saying anything because Spencer's not one of those guys to be like hyping himself up or something like that. He's just one of those guys to be like, oh, I'm throwing a no-hitter. But all I really remember from that is actually my parents were at that game, so I remember that. But I just remember Veerling caught that last ball.
Yeah, fly ball to left field to end the game. Did you realize how many pitches he had? Because he was in the right around 80 through 7 innings, but then he only threw 7 or 8 pitches in the 7th and 4 pitches in the 8th. So
yeah,
when we were upstairs on the air and we didn't, we knew he had his good stuff, but it never really clicked in that he might get to pitch the all 9 until he got through at least the 7th inning because, he had that higher pitch count.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that. Because they were talking about if you don't get quick innings here, you're not going to be able to do this. And I don't know if they would have taken him out or not, but that would have been terrible. The only thing I remember from that too was, I think in the 9th inning, the man was hitting like 100 mile an hour.
Yeah. Have you ever faced him live?
Spencer? No. I've stood in, and I actually know it was a live BP in before when we were out in Arizona. No, not like a real like scrimmage at bat or anything.
So you played in the Fall League, right? Last year.
Yeah.
So that's a big honor to get selected. What was that experience like? You're with some of the top prospects from all over the sport.
Yeah, well, it was good for a little. I played like 5 games down there because I broke my thumb.
Right.
And
you homered though.
Yeah. But I mean, it was good while I was there. I mean, getting to play with all those type of guys and see what the talent is across the league. Because I mean, you don't get to face. I mean, half the people you don't ever even get to face in the minor leagues. So they're in completely different divisions and stuff like that. So
sure.
I mean, it was a cool experience.
We're talking with former BlueClaws shortstop Nick Maton. Dental savings made simple with Choosy Dental. The free, easy-to-use app saves you an average of 24% at the dentist, with or without insurance. Save more, smile more, and learn more at grandslamsavings.com. Nick, what else do you remember about your time with the BlueClaws? You had that crazy week with the no-hitter. You had the home runs in Lexington to come back in Game 1. But what about the rest of the year?
I remember the travel. I remember the bus rides, 14, 16-hour bus ride to Rome. Sure. But I remember first half, what do we have? We had Doey and Russ.
Right.
As our back two. I remember those guys both literally didn't give up a run ever. And then the second half was Warren and Brockton. And they did the exact same thing. And then they're both still all four of those guys are still shoving right now. Dowie and Russ are. Dowie was in AAA and Russ was like AAA or AA closer of the whatever. I don't even know. He's killing it. And
Have you ever faced Warren? He's got to be tough on you lefties. Well, he is.
I
I know
faced
he's
him
from
once. I
England.
flew out. I remember it was in spring training. Yeah, I mean he's got nasty stuff.
Um, you guys won both halves the year you were in Lakewood, which is a big time accomplishment. It doesn't happen often. What do you remember about the day you won the first half? Because it was Father's Day. You guys were going down to the All-Star game and had played at 1 o'clock and won, done by 3:30, 3:45. But then you had to sweat out the Kannapolis game over the which was, I think, a 5:05 start.
Yeah, I remember Kannapolis was up by like what was it, like 8 games within the last week?
They were up by at least 5 with week and a half left or so.
Yeah,
They lost their last 5. I think they lost their last 5 games.
Yeah, and I think we won or something like that. But yeah, it came down to that last game, and we were gonna wait around and like celebrate and see if we like won it or not, but we couldn't do that. We had to get to the game, and the people who were still back in Lakewood, they got together after they figured out that they
Yeah, that Kannapolis
that
lost.
they had actually they celebrated accordingly. But like, yeah, no, that's crazy.
Did you guys find out on the way to the airport, or were you in the airport?
We were in the airport. I remember we were going through security.
Were you following on your phone?
We were just getting text messages from no, actually I think it might have been, I don't know, someone was looking at it. Someone was looking at it. But then we got texts from everybody like what are we gonna do? Like it was a big group message, like we going back to the field, and that's what ended up happening. So,
And then you guys got to successfully celebrate again in the second half, which you won, clinched that one in Greensboro, little thing there, and then got to celebrate for real in Lakewood the next day.
yeah, no, Lakewood was definitely a good time. We had a really good year. That was a fun time. Good place to play.
You had a few big games with Lakewood that year, but you homered on opening day, which I guess is kind of cool. Do you remember that, Kannapolis?
Yeah, I remember that. It was my second at bat, I think. Second at bat.
Can't start a season any better than that, right?
Yeah, but there's only one way. There's only one way, and that's down after that.
That's true. Nick Maton is our guest. What's the toughest part about moving up into the Florida State League? I know a lot of people say that the heat's different. You got to get up playing with smaller crowds. Is the level of play a notable jump up? Take us through last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of those things are big, major key factors. What makes it a lot harder. I mean, the heat and the no fans is tough every single game. But yeah, I mean, definitely the competition's a little bit better. I mean, pitchers aren't missing as much, and they're hitting their spots with more than one pitch. I mean, their off speed's there too, and yeah, I mean, it just everyone's a little bit better, and definitely those the fans and the heat is a big change too.
The goals you set for yourself going into 2020, what were those, and what are you looking to accomplish once you get back on the field?
I don't know. I just want to have a good solid season again. I mean, I can't really control like what's going to go on as far as like moving up and stuff like that. I mean, you can just play and control what you can control. But yeah, I just want to have another good, solid, healthy season and see what happens from there.
What was your favorite BlueClaws special jersey?
I think I like the dog one because my host family, Phil and Lynn's dog, Ziggy, was on it.
Oh, very cool. That's a good one. Nick Maton is with us. Remember, you can score savings at the dentist with Choosy. The free, easy-to-use app saves you an average of 24% at the dentist. Save more, smile more, learn more at grandslamsavings.com. When do you think you'll be back out on the field?
I know as much as you when it comes to that. I have no
Yeah,
idea. We've
I
just
don't know.
been staying in contact with all of our guys, making sure we're still working out and staying in shape, and just staying as ready as we can for when we do get that call and get ready to go.
When you left, did they give you, nutrition plans, workout plans, field work
Yeah, we
plans?
got it. Basically just went back into off-season form. I mean, because no one knew. Like at first, no, we didn't know if we were gonna get to go back home. We thought we would have to be down there. But when we did get that, I mean, it started just turning back into kind of an off-season feel.
How often do you check in with, or do they check in with you?
It's usually a couple times a week you hear from him.
What you got any good bobbleheads up there over your left shoulder?
Yeah, I was a big Cardinal fan growing up. So I mean, I know Pools and Ozzie Smith are up there. So
Very good. Nick, thank you so much for a few minutes. It was fun looking back at that 2018 BlueClaws team. Best of luck when you get back out on the field. Stay safe and all the best to you and your family.
thank you. You as well. I appreciate it. It was a good time.